Team Manager Raymond Dizon.
25 brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. QUEZON with a backcourt of LJ Gonzalez and Judel Fuentes. Up front, Simon Sandagon, Vince Magbuhos, and Gab Banal. For Nueva Ecija, JP Calvo earning another start with a surprise starter in Kenneth Mocon, Will Macaloni, Robbie Celes, and John Wilson rounding out the five for the Rice Vanguards. Our referees for this ball game, Hali Damicog, EJ Carase, and Karina Martin. Fourth referee is Jay Francisco.
I'm going to assume Mocon starts because he's going to match up on Gonzalez. As you see right now, defending off ball is Mocon on Gonzalez.
Fourth straight start for JP Calvo. So the Marcelino twins coming off the bench again. Gonzalez caught stepping on the sideline in their first possession. Bola mapupunta sa Nueva Ecija.
Well, imagine being undefeated for months, which Nueva Ecija was before, they bowed down to Abra, which was last month. And then still having a problem at the point guard position. JP Calvo, got here, before the trade deadline, right? Right. Imagine that luxury. That's my point.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show that this management is not content of just putting wins on the board. They're dead serious of winning it again, which they have already a couple seasons back.
They get the first basket, and QUEZON turns the ball over second consecutive time. Coach Eric Gonzalez, busy schedule ahead for them. They still have 7 games remaining, including this one. Sunod-sunod yung mga magiging laban pa nila dito. Kenneth Mocon this time tries a free. How about the start from Kenneth Mocon?
Now that's a shot if you're QUEZON that you're maybe willing to give up, but maybe up to a certain point. Let's see how he continues to shoot. Sandagon misses one on the short roll, gets the offensive rebound. That time, may pito.
Foul will be called on John Wilson. Sandagon will troop to the line. The pass, Celis setting up Ken Mocon. With some early offense para dito sa Nueva Ecija. Sandagon sinks in the first free throw. 8 minutes and 38 seconds left. LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. What impressed you the most, Coach Chris, yung panalo nung QUEZON laban sa San Juan?
Well, it impressed me because despite of giving up 43 free throws, they were able to squeeze in a win. And mind you, San Juan only missed 6 of the 43. Now, I say that both as a compliment and an improvement, because one thing to improve on, contrary to what I just said, is they got to learn how to defend without fouling in this game, because obviously they're going up against one of the top calibers dito sa liga natin. So I'm not sure if they could squeeze out another win if they give up too many fouls, because in that game, obviously without the heroics of LJ, especially in the fourth, scoring 11 of his points there. Now let's see if they could do it once again and do it even better.
That was a tight game, that match between San Juan. Biggest lead was just at 8 points, enjoyed by the Knights back in the second quarter. Meanwhile, Sandagon, 4 early points. Turnover, laban naman sa Nueva Ecija. Pass inside, Magbuhos got blocked by Robbie Celis. Calvo trying to navigate through traffic. Oh, slicing through 2 defenders. Lays it up and in with his left hand.
That move never gets old. You've seen that move maybe in the 70s. 1-2 step, pass fake, layup. Classic yan, as Magbuhos shows us also a classic in his game, the 3-pointer.
Tabla tayo, 7-all. First deadlock of the ball game. John Wilson to Macaloni. Mocon this time on the right side, guarded by Judel Fuentes. Mocon pulling up, off to the left. Calvo secures the long rebound. Tightly guarded by Fuentes. Calvo pulling up. It will rattle out. Macaloni hits the deck. And it's because a foul will be called against Vince Magbuos. Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Gotta be impressed with the finish by JP Calvo, but really that's more on Will Macaloni. That drop coverage is to force the defense of Quezon to play 2-on-2. Kasi once na iniwan mo si Macaloni, you're gonna open up the roll or the offensive rebound as John Wilson will force an offensive foul after hitting a basket. So back-to-back impactful plays by the former MVP. What was that? Season 2? Season 3?
Season 3.
Season 3. You're right, the bubble season.
Actually, silang dalawang magkatapat, yung magkasunod na MVP. John Wilson with a jumper and then getting a stop on the other side. Gab Banal, Season 2 MVP going
Right.
up.
When he was with Bacoor.
Yep. Guarding each other, ito si Wilson and Banal. Robbie Celis gives it up to Calvo. 4 seconds left. Kick out pass, Mocon around the same spot. Different result, a miss. Gonzalez was aiming to save it. It will still stay with Nueva Ecija.
And I expect every rebound to be like that. Nakita mo kung paano pinaglaban ni LJ yung bola. It's gonna be a dogfight every loose ball, I expect, for both teams.
These two teams play different styles. If you look at the shot profile of Quezon, almost half of their attempts coming from beyond the arc, while Nueva Ecija just 30%, a little over 30%
Right.
of their attempts coming from free.
It's a big part of their game. You know, we mentioned earlier their defense being number 1. 3 points in the last game against San Juan. They were able to make 11.
Foul called again against Quezon. You've mentioned the number of fouls in the last game. Had total of 29 fouls.
Yeah, compared to 23 of San Juan.
Let's check in with Gianna Llanes.
Limiting Quezon's points on transition offense and controlling the opponent's rebounds. Yun ang magiging focus ng Rice Vanguards ngayon as they face the Huskers. Napanood nga raw ni Coach Don ang huling panalo ng Huskers last week against San Juan, saying that their defensive energy was key. Also watching out for the big plays of LJ Gonzalez and Judel Fuentes today. To face the guard firepower of their opponents, Coach Don is confident in JP Calvo leading the way and speeding up the pace of the game, while he adds that Will Macaloni has shown a lot of improvement in his offensive game lately. Isang bagay na tinutukan ng mga coaches lalo na para sa laro ngayon. Ken and Christian?
Maraming salamat, Gianna. Let's see how that will pan out. John Wilson, though, outsmarting his fellow MVP in Gab Banal, drawing a foul and 3 free throws coming up.
This time off ball or a little pass back. Just unable to control his momentum. To put some breaks. Diretso siya kaya tinamaan niya si Wilson while in the act of shooting.
But just going back to Gianna's report, the importance on controlling the rebounds and also defending yung lethal backcourt nitong Quezon and LJ Gonzalez and Judel Fuentes. And Coach Don Dula has really shown a lot of confidence dito kay JP Calvo.
Because those two things are correlated. If you take care of your perimeter, which obviously is the strength nitong Quezon, keeping the ball in front of you, playing them 2-on-2, 1-on-1, not giving them advantages. Right here, an advantage on the in transition exploited by the Rice Vanguards. It will allow your defense to control the boards. Chances are because hindi na magro-rotate, hindi na mag-help, hindi magkakabutas.
Foul laban naman sa Nueva Ecija.
Dalawa na yan, Macaloni.
Fast Break the Game brought to you by Extreme X Pop, personal karaoke speaker, everyday karaoke. This was JV, kakapasok lang. He's matched up against Topeng Lagrama. While RJ Minerva, papasok din for Joseph Gabayni. Altamsi also in, as well as Will Gozum. While for Nueva Ecija, Billy Ray Robles, JC Marcelino, and Christian Manaytay making their appearance. And they get a stop. Rice Vanguards up by 5, past the halfway point of the first quarter. Manaytay to JV. He goes to his brother, JC. Wants this matchup. Cutting in was JV. What a pass to Robbie Celis.
Who said you're lazy if you're lying down? That pass, contrary to that statement, pahiga na, naipasa pa ng maganda.
14-7, abante ng 7 ang Nueva Ecija. Lagrama. Tamsi, 3 seconds left. Supalpali, naabot ni Minerva kay Robbie Celis. Two former NU Bulldogs going at that. JC, stop and pop jumper. No, the tip-in is good from Christian Manaytay. Blistering run here from the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards.
Oh, look at this play. This jumper, wide open jumper. Anytime you get good shots, even if it's a miss, it leads to offensive rebounding. The quality, you gotta give credit to Imos, obviously a much improved team, at least compared to last season. But in the third quarter, you know, they turned the switch on, especially on the defensive end, only allowing 11 points in that quarter, and then eventually broke the game wide open and won by 14.
Now an opportunity to go up by double digits. Nueva Ecija pull-up jumper is good from JC Marcelino.
Ayaw nila magkaroon ng breakdown defensively, no? Talk about yung defense nitong Quezon, kahit na below the 3 na, umiilalim pa rin sila sa screens. And that time, Marcelino makes them pay for the jumper. Kung sino man sa dalawa yon, hulaan nyo na lang.
Joshua Yero coming up empty. JC, siya magtitimon para sa Nueva Ecija. Oh, the pass, medyo hindi na control ni Christian Manaytay. JV recovers. JV Marcelino joins in the mid-range party. Up by a baker's dozen now are the Rice Vanguards, 20-7. Minerva given space, goes for the reverse. A strong take, stopping that run by the Rice Vanguards.
Now, what a nice take by RJ Minerva and a smart play by Tamsi. You know, I thought he was going for the ball by receiving the basketball, but because he was top locked, he instead gives a screen to open up the lane for Minerva. Nice finish.
Right now, Nueva Ecija practically clicking on all cylinders, much to the delight of the Novo Ecijanos.
Sa basketball, minsan simple lang eh. Ang hirap talunin ng team na hindi nagmimintis. So far, Nueva Ecija, it's even hard to remember the last time they missed. Kaya 23 points na sila.
Meanwhile, Quezon has been giving up the basketball. 3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
That is a simple play. Right there, pops out to the top of the key, and that small window of being open, he takes advantage of it, knocks it down.
14 ang lamang, 23-9. JC, Manaytay, short, Yero the rebound. LJ quickly on the other side, puts on some speed.
That's a foul.
But no whistle.
Right.
Gabayni in traffic, naagawan. Numbers here for Nueva Ecija. Manaytay goes up strong for the layup. An avalanche early galing dito sa Rice Vanguards.
Always a matchup nightmare is Nueva Ecija, especially in transition. Diego Dario, what an answer.
Pamatay sunog na 3. But still a 13-point bubble. 1 minute remaining. JC match up against LJ. Marcelino. Ball tapped away. It will stay with Nueva Ecija. Coach Don Dulay.
Mama-warningan yata.
Yeah.
No? Hindi niya nagustuhan yung no-call doon. He thought there was a lot of contact on JV Marcelino as he drove towards the baseline on the left side.
Jam Ramito is now in, getting past Joseph Cabaini. That's just pretty much a blow-by galing dito kay Jammer.
What an execution of that simple screen-to-screener play. You could say it's a play that every team runs, even in the collegiate level. Triangle screen-to-screener, but Diego Dario trying to block off the last screener, and Jammer Humito read it so well. He popped out right away, kaya nalibre siya. And a strong finish for the three-point play.
28-12, lead up to 16 points. 47 seconds left. Dario left open. That one will pop out. Nueva Ecija having their way here in quarter number 1. JC gets into traffic. Bagsak si Gabaini at si Joshua Yero. Penalty na kanina pa itong Quezon Huskers.
36 seconds remaining. Obviously, babalik pa no, sa Nueva Ecija ang bola after these 2 free throws. It'll be interesting to see, Ken, papasok ng second quarter, kung ano maging adjustment ni Coach Eric in terms of their ball screen coverage. Because they were playing in the percentage of going under the screen, and obviously the shots have been going in. So do you stick with it and maybe eventually, wait for Nueva Ecija to miss? Or, do you hard hedge? Do you double team? Do you force the ball out of the hands of the ball handlers, which will open up eventually? They're big men, but this guy, Diego Dario, his 2 threes, giving Quezon a big lift even after a struggling quarter for Quezon.
Chops the lead down to 15. About a 2-second differential between shot and game clock, but it will not matter because another foul called against Quezon.
Marcelino just hit a wall. Literal, yung sikat na phrase dati, ang bumangga, giba. Ayun, yun ang naramdaman nun sa pag-cut nitong si JV Marcelino. Kay Gabaini ka ba naman sumalubong sa iyo?
Practically all of the Rice Vanguards have hit their outside shots. JV had a mid-range jumper earlier. Mocon started things off with a three-pointer. But Quezon, they've been in these kinds of situations before. Although the last time they were in a situation like this, we covered that game against Rizal where they fell into a huge hole. They came back, got to within 3 in the 4th, but just fell short. That was also a road game in Inares. And they're facing a similar predicament here against the Rice Vanguards. 4 seconds left. Dario got blocked. Still time on the clock. 1.9. Fuentes has yet to take a shot. Breakdown on defense. Gabanal quickly capitalizing and scoring for Quezon.
That's why communication is very important, especially if you're a team that loves to switch, which Nueva Ecija is. They pretty much switch everything with their small lineup. That time of the inbounds, a mental lapse.
Like we said, Ken Mocon set the tone here for Nueva Ecija.
He did. Ito yung nakahigang paso.
And that pass to Robbie Celis. And you see how Nueva Ecija has been able to capitalize on the turnovers. Number 1 in that department. But those pair of threes from Diego Dario giving some life para dito sa Quezon Huskers as they end the quarter trailing by 14, 31-17.
Here we touched on it earlier. Quezon being number 1 in points allowed. Coach Eric Gonzalez, really one of the few coaches really in Philippine basketball wherein really takes pride on defense, and I know this personally because he was one of my first coaches, almost 30 years ago. So this is no surprise to me. And Don Dulay, an emerging, outstanding coach. Talk about a guy, okay, he's a former teammate of mine who has not only the mind of a point guard, but really a mind of a coach who knows how, he's a relational type of coach.
Oh. Breakdown on the defensive side from Quezon. JV knifing through the lane, and similarly on the other side, Diego Dario with the emphatic response.
Already has 8 points. And ang ganda na, no, yung mga sagot ni Diego Dario. But the thing is, they cannot trade baskets. They need stops on this side of the floor. Talk about Quezon.
Kung maalala mo, si Diego Dario rin, yung namayani nung second period against Rizal. Gab Banal, Vince Magbuhos, RJ Minerva, Diego Dario, and Judel Fuentes. Vince Magbuhos. Binabantayan maigit ni JC, but JV was behind. Almost got a steal. Dario, extra pass inside, in traffic. Minerva, relentless, able to roll that through.
No way to stick with it in that possession for Quezon. It looked to be leading to a turnover. Ang daya eh. May clone. Itong Nueva Ecija. Akala mo binabantayan ka na nung isa. Aagawan ka pa nung isa. No, but then again, Quezon able to recover and score off of Minerva, and then they get a stop. Ito yung nabanggit natin. So a chance to trim the lead down to 10 or even to single digits with a 3.
Dario to RJ Minerva. Laban kay Jamaramito. Dario. Minerva lost it. Magbuhos was there for the retrieval. Fen on the shot clock. Dario makes his move. Pass to Judel Fuentes. Pulling up. Fuentes off the heel. Robles secures it for Nueva Ecija.
So you see the scramble defensively by Nueva Ecija. It may look like that it's not organized, but everything in their system defensively, especially the way they switch, has a system. That time of the ball screen up top and the drive to the baseline, how Robles peeled off the defender and was able to help switch.
Gab Banal has really found a stroke lately for the Quezon Huskers. 483.
Well, you see, a 1-point game, but Quezon, we talked about the free throws earlier, the number of free throws they gave up. Pero you see yung kalamangan naman nila in terms of 10 more attempts. Kaya 6 more in terms of mix sila. And obviously, every point, every basket was crucial because it only takes 1 point to win a basketball game, and that's what they did.
Let's go to Gianna at courtside.
Kwento ni Coach Eric na napakalaking bagay daw ang kanilang home court support last win against San Juan, adding it is a little more difficult nga raw this time around without that support. Pero sharing the ball will be their way of showing that togetherness this game. Shooting drills daw ang kanilang naging focus sa ensayo with teammanship always in mind. Pero sa first quarter, napansin niya na nawawala ang defensive identity ng Huskers. He emphasized na Nueva's shots are becoming too easy dahil nalalate ang kanilang depensa, eventually leaving open spaces. And with every made shot daw, he highlights out-sprint to go back down on offense. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, G. And the defense, really, the #1 ranked defense so far, giving Nueva Ecija 33 points on 59% shooting from the field.
Yeah, and giving up 31 after 1 quarter. And, usually your benchmark is below 20 as a great defensive team, which they have done numerous times already this season. But not that first quarter, obviously, against the home team.
Despite all that, though, they find themselves only down by 9.
Excellent defense on the post by JC Marcelino. Forcing a tough shot on the scorer na si Judel Fuentes.
Calvo back in, going right at Diego Dario. Left it short. Thought he got fouled. Fuentes quickly to Dario. Magbuhos. Judel, bubungol sa tres. Bouncing out. Calvo trying to save it. And actually, it will go to the side of the Rice Vanguards. Macaloni with 2 fouls returns for Nueva Ecija.
So you see the intention, no? As Judel took that shot, pumasok agad sa loob itong si Vince Magbuhos with a smaller defender. Now Magbuhos not really known as a great rebounder. But even guys like him, because nabanggit natin, mahilig mag-switch, no? Even with the small to big, itong Nueva Ecija, Quezon has to make them pay on the boards. Tulad doon, no, na backs out ni JP Calvo, itong si Vince Magbuhos.
Tyron Chan, kakapasok lang, mintis yung kanyang tira sa labas. Fuentes, kick out, Cabanal. Niluwa yung kanyang 3-point attempt. Still a 9-point cushion by Nueva Ecija. JC straight to the rack. Count it, plus a foul.
Obviously, something is wrong with your defense, and Coach Eric is letting them know emphatically about it. This is what coaches hate, Ken. Splits. 1, 2, 3. 3 white shirts na iwanan ng isang tao. Guy on the ball, guy on top, which was Magbuhos, and guy defending the screener, which was Gabayni. Ang mabigat doon, 3-point play pa.
Na nakompleto ni JC Marcelino. 7 points. Perfect from the line. Papatan muna siya ni Kenneth Mocon. Entry pass down low. Gabayni, hook shot. Too strong. Will Macaloni with a rebound. Under 6 minutes left. Mocon. Wilson off that pass from Tyron Chan. In front of him, Vince Magbuhos. Crossover by John Wilson. Lost it. Fuentes in transition against Ken Mocon. Off the glass and in. Great show of composure from Judel Fuentes.
How about the strength to absorb contact and even fading towards the baseline, really. The concentration to finish that one. Impressive finish.
Macaloni. Mintis. LJ the rebound. Approaching the halfway point of the second period. Another turnover. Pang-pito na yan laban sa Quezon. Will slow things down. Working with back alone. Provided by Will. Sila nagkaintindihan ni Will Macaloni. Turnover naman laban sa Nueva Ecija.
Just poor spacing all throughout that possession that started on the right. So I see Tondulay right now shouting spacing.
Pass for the game brought to you by Extreme X Play on the go speaker. Take your music anywhere.
So when I tell you he's a former teammate, believe me, he's a former teammate.
Kahit magkaibang side kayo, nagkarinigan pa din eh. Ken Mocon with a steal.
Ang mabigat doon, parehas pang kalbo. What a trail.
Robbie Celis straight to the cup.
Right here, they did a good job of stopping Calvo, but not a good job of stopping the trainer in Robbie Celis.
The game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. We have a timeout by Quezon. Next 3 games of the Rice Vanguards, they will return at home on the 30th of August, kalaban ng Ilagan Isabela. September 3, Sarangani, and then on the 15th, they will take on the Quezon City Galleries Taipan.
Yan yung isang nabanggit mo sa akin kanina while we were on the way here, that you are so looking forward to yung matchup na yun against Ilagan, because I believe you're going to cover that game too.
Yeah, maganda yung laban na yan.
At saka sabi mo sa akin, gusto mo yung mga long drive.
Ay, singit mo pa yun.
Oo.
Huwag mo na i-reveal kung bakit. Gonzalez can't get past Will Macaloni. And Jodel Fuentes caught stepping on the sideline.
So how will QUEZON resolve the switching defense of Nueva Ecija? Because it's one thing to switch, it's another thing to help the mismatch. And it seems like, all throughout the season, Don Dulay has trusted his players because he would rather have mismatches rather than open shots. And that time, the last defensive possession, Will Macaloni switched on LJ Gonzalez. LJ Gonzalez was trying to take him off the dribble, pero yung mga kasama niya was alert enough to pack the floor and to shorten those gaps and eventually force a turnover. Pero turnover din ang nangyari sa kabila.
Diego Dario nagbabalik para sa QUEZON. Short stab, Minerva, short. Try to save it, but pareho sila ng intention doon ni Simon Sandagon.
Well, this time they don't switch. It was actually a triple switch. As JP Calva fought over the screen and he was gonna recover all the way up to the other side. Kasi ang sumalo dun sa roller on that empty corner ball screen ay si Macaloni. Again, walang nalibre.
Celis, gandang galaw yun. That momentary hesitation, freezing up his defender and scoring over him.
And this is why you pay players the big bucks tulad ni Robbie Celis. Because tulad nun, kahit hindi siya na libre, has the ability to shoot over and make the shot.
Always finds a way, Robbie Celis. Diego Dario, third triple of the ball game.
Finding a way also to keep his team in the ball game. Kaya humahaba ang minuto nitong si Diego Dario coming off the bench.
11 puntos na for Diego Dario. 3-point shooting, 42.7% ang QUEZON. But Nueva Ecija is also hitting their threes.
They're taking advantage of the drop coverage as Jodel Fuentes will miss the three. Just doing an excellent job of executing right now is Nueva Ecija. It almost feels like every shot they've taken is the best shot available and they're making them.
And we already talked about how Nueva Ecija doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but boy, when they take them, they make it count. But here, Diego Dario sinking in another 3-point shot. Pero maganda yung bawit naman dito ni John Wilson.
Diego Dario is probably the only one apart from the Gabanal 3. What was that? Late in the first quarter. Kaya nakita natin talaga na libre lang sila, no?
2 minutes remaining in the first half. Diego Dario.
Nice.
Gabaini though did not go for that shot. LJ does from 3. Too strong. LJ gets the pass back. Walang foul. LJ again. Supalpal, inabot niya sa depensa ng Nueva Ecija. And Dario, no choice but to give up that foul. Actually a good one, stopping the fast break.
Coach Richie Tixon, assistant of QUEZON, trying to make a case because he thought LJ was fouled here. I thought it was a good no call. And right here, multiple hands to block the shot. Iisipin mo na lang kung kanino mo ibibigay eh. Yung palpal na yun. Ayun.
Yeah. Coach Richie got teed up. 6 blocks already from Nueva Ecija.
Yeah, here's the thing with Nueva Ecija. Yes, they're a small team. Robbie Celis is playing the 4. They switch a lot. But their guards is tough as nails when they defend. You talk about the Marcelino twins. Even John Wilson.
Yeah.
John Wilson, let's not forget, for those who did not follow his career, He was really known as a defensive player way back during his JRU Heavy Bomber days. And then he just developed himself into an outstanding offensive player, a two-way player really. And eventually an MVP here sa liga natin.
Back with us here inside the Nueva Ecija Coliseum as we check out our Gixxer fan of the game, born for greatness. Kasalukuyang abante ang Nueva Ecija ng 14 na puntos, 43-29. And in their head-to-head matchups, tabla sila actually. Season 5 nanalong Quezon at home against Nueva Ecija. That was that game winner by Robin Ronyo. Bumawi naman Nueva Ecija last year.
Is Robin Ronyo still in the league?
Parang hindi na yata eh.
Huh?
Which is surprising. Rob Celis Mintes. Great stop off a timeout by Quezon. Despite all this, may pagkaaton pa silang maibaba ang kalamangan.
That's what we talked about before the timeout, before we went off air. John Wilson defending a bigger offensive player in Will Gozum, and Will Gozum could not even back him down after 2 dribbles. Eventually, they forced the stop.
Yeah, very deceptive. Deceptively strong ito si John Wilson.
Let's see kung they would try to exploit it still. Because I think Gozum still has the upper hand there. He just has to be more assertive, pero dito nasobrahan naman yung assertiveness. No offensive foul doon. Was that JC or JV?
JV.
It's JV. Ayun, diretso sa leg.
Yeah.
Tulis nun.
Umwersa siya. Thought he had the strength advantage over Diego Dario. 48 seconds left. LJ. Manal back to Gonzalez. LJ met by Robbie Celis. The switching defense befuddling itong Quezon at the moment. LJ pupukol sa 3. No good. Marcelino the rebound quickly to Robbie Celis. Oh, what a move! Celis getting past Diego Dario, but he turns the ball over. Opportunity in transition para sa Quezon. Dario drifting left, but before that, a foul given by Tyrone Chan, preventing that shot. Quezon being held to only 29 points in the first half.
Whenever I see right now, coaching staff pleading with the officials. Mukhang mabibigyan sila ng warning. I was being nice when I said pleading. Obviously, there were spicy words that went out that forced the official to tee them up. Because they thought Robbie Celis got hit on the face.
Yeah.
That's what he claims. It was a tough angle sa parte natin, no?
Fuentes, pasok yung kanyang free throw. Bakers doesn't lead, enjoyed by Nueva Ecija. About a 6-second differential between shot and game clock. Kenneth Mocron inserted for defensive purposes, replacing John Wilson.
So this game really has been as expected. It's been clean and hard.
Yeah.
Both teams playing hard, and only 12 free throws combined for both teams. But the difference is, it's the turnover story. In double figures already with 11 ang Quezon. Hindi naman nalalayo, no? Itong Nueva Ecija with 9. But the thing is, the way they've been struggling offensively to make a basket, let alone to get an attempt, no? Dahil sa mga turnovers, yan ang nangyayari sa Quezon. Kaya itong Nueva Ecija, 54 compared to only 32 para sa Quezon.
Last shot time for the Rice Vanguards. Quezon still has a foul to give. JC blowing past Magbuhos, lays it up and in.
I think he was trying to foul. They had a foul to give. And Coach Eric right in the face of Joshua Hierro. Not sure why, but it's certainly something that he didn't do or didn't follow. Nonetheless, what a half. What an efficient half para sa Nueva Ecija.
And it's not JC, but JV who's been masterful here in the first half. 10 points, 3 rebounds, and also 2 blocks. And Nueva Ecija just having their way here in the first half and leading over Quezon 45-30.